Hi, I'm Megan from the Nerd Nest, and I have 3 quick stamping tips for you today. Over here, working on a layout. There's a really cute story behind it. My husband Jake tries to convince my daughter Eliza that she's a robot, and it's a big ongoing thing, and she tries to prove that she's not a robot, and he tries to prove that she is. So it's like an ongoing joke in our family. And for this, I decided that I wanted to use some really cute stamps that I had. So I created a stamp background using some older stamps from Basic Gray. And one of the 3 tips is that you can use a CD jewel case for acrylic stamps to be able to see exactly where you're stamping. So you don't need to buy a fancy stamp block. This will fit most sizes of acrylic stamps to use, and as you can see, you can get a pretty clear image using just this. My next tip is when you're stamping with trying to stamp a background, you can create a pattern by repeating images. So I set up the acrylic stamps in this way and then left them that way and stamped the images multiple times. So I went through and stamped it in a row, and then I stamped in another row above it, but I offset it a little bit so you can see that the big robot's right here and the little robot is right here. So so I started over here and I lined it up, and then when I went to do my second row, I put the little robot over the big robot so that I know that the rows would be offset a little bit. And that also gives you a little more wiggle room, because if I had stamped the pattern directly above this, you would really notice if I was off just even a little bit if these weren't lining up right. So offsetting it a little bit is a great way to do things. Another tip that I have for you today is that I don't like to get up and clean my stamps very often, and usually I don't really clean them at all because I just use black. But when I'm using colors, a great thing to do is to keep a piece of scrapbook paper with you so that you can just stamp all the ink off of your stamps. And I also use this paper to keep my work surface clean when I'm stamping if it's going to go off of the page a little bit, so that way the extra ink gets onto the piece of paper instead of onto my desk where it could later make a mess. So I'm going to have this finished page in a blog post below. I still need to add a little bit of journaling to it to finish it up, and I hope that you enjoyed these 3 stamping tips. And if you have any of your own stamping tips, leave them in the comment section.